Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Rave Green TV. And this is going to be your post-match review for the Seattle Sounders downfall, I guess, in today's match. They have lost 4-3 against the San Jose Earthquakes, where they led twice in today's match, and they have fallen. I've actually given San Jose their first win of the season. They have now gained 0 points in their previous two matches against Inter Miami and the San Jose Earthquakes. I'm joined with Atif. We are going to give our thoughts on the game. Atif, I'll let you start this one. I mean, this was not good.
No, it wasn't. I feel physically ill right now. I think it's just a multitude of factors for me personally. When you know how good this team is and how great they can be, and then to see this team have a 2-goal lead, you're up 2-0 in the first half, you're up 3-1 in the second half, and then to just lose at the end to a team that's at the bottom of the table, like a team that was winless thus far. I want to find something positive to point to, but I really can't. I mean, I think Nicolas Lodeiro, 2 assists, 1 goal, good for him. But I don't think he really cares about those stats. I think I'm pretty sure the players are just as disgusted as we are here. But I really, really don't know what more. All I can say is I hope that somehow, some way, this is not a sign of things, that might be ahead of us on Wednesday in leg 1 against Pumas.
With the CCL final coming up, a lot of people, maybe their focus is more towards that. But for today's game, this isn't the momentum you want going into it. That's the biggest issue I have, because we've seen Real Salt Lake, I believe 7 years ago when they were in the final, kind of do the same thing. Montreal Impact do the same thing going into their final. Same thing with Toronto in 2018. All these three teams were going into CCL finals and kind of just not necessarily binned off, but their performances in MLS were just catastrophic for the most part for the standards that they're at going into the final. And so this is not good. We do not want to keep that pattern going. I know Nick mentioned that as well in his fan cam, that we cannot be having this kind of momentum going into a Champions League final. Not winning against Inter Miami and San Jose, who are on paper the easiest two opponents you could have going into this final to build that momentum. And I mean, in today's game, I think this is 3 points dropped 100%. Like, it was so in Sounders' hands. They had control of this game. And you could say, well, I guess the 2-goal lead is the worst lead to have because Sounders didn't blow it once. They blew it twice. They just thoroughly messed up this game. And today, I think Sounders need to be renamed as not Seattle Sounders FC, but as Charity FC, because they have handed Inter Miami Inter Miami had 1 win and 1 clean sheet this whole season. Sounders doubled that after their performance in that game. Tonight, the San Jose Earthquakes had no wins going into this game. They were the laughing stocks of MLS this season. And Sounders, the thing is, the Sounders didn't just lose, but they were winning and blew such a big lead to give them that game. And yeah, I get it. Like, people could say, well, it's the referee. Like, some people would mention that. And, to a certain degree, yes, Nathan should have probably been sent off early on in that game for the penalty. And yeah, maybe the Nuhu tackle or push wasn't a penalty. That is not a valid excuse on how we lost this game, because we were up in 2 instances in this game. It was in Sounders' control to do it. And then the other part would be to it. Then you would say, well, okay, well, that last chance wasn't a penalty. New should not be putting himself in that situation to make it so they have to go and check it. Don't two-hand someone from behind on a corner kick. That wasn't going to really anybody. No one was getting their head to. It was not a good taken corner. I mean, my goodness. I mean, yeah, the refereeing wasn't great, but Sounders didn't help themselves, because it's not like, oh, it was really neck and neck. They just totally threw away that game.
Yeah, like I said, I really want to find something positive to point to, but when you have a 2-goal lead at 2 different points in the game, and you can't finish that game with the result, when you not even just a result, for me, I agree 100% that these were 3 dropped points. But we're always hearing, and I want to quickly comment on. I'm sure some fans, some fellow fans will be of the mindset that, well, again, we're thinking about the Champions League. When I hear things from like coaches and players that I believe, when Coach Metzer says that he doesn't believe that a team has to put all their eggs in one basket, that they can do well in multiple competitions simultaneously, I believe that. But then when you see things like this happen, like blowing a 3-1 lead against a team like San Jose, it's just, I think that speaks for itself. I really, really don't have, I would love to be a fly on the wall in locker rooms after games like this to really, really see what goes on. But this is not a good look. I mean, when you think about momentum and rhythm, just having something on your side, the Sounders have zero momentum right now going into leg one. You can't even get me to even change my point of view slightly on that. I think they're going into leg one with zero momentum on their side.
I know now it's gonna make it interesting going to Mexico, because that's, you could say, is the more important tie, because the second leg will luckily be in Seattle, and in Sounders history, Sounders notoriously don't do well in leg one ties for a good till 2014. We were always that team that kind of played badly in leg one and then really played catch up in leg two. And today's performance, I mean, it's gonna put, I mean, it was against, I mean, yeah, again, San Jose had that new manager bounce, but even still, the Sounders had it under control. Like it was in their palms. It wasn't like San Jose blew the Sounders out of the water. Sounders had this game. They could have killed off the game, but chose not to kill off the game. Jordan Morris had chances and opportunities to help kill off the game. And he's not the number one person to point at. He's just the person I'm naming off the top of my head. But this game is a clear indicator on the Sounders. I get it. The CCL performance, it's painting over a lot of cracks on how poor the Sounders season has been so far, because it has been poor. We've dropped points at home to Nashville, to Inter Miami, and a lot of people in the beginning said the excuse for Nashville was, well, it's against Nashville, a really good team. Nashville's been dropping points left, right, and center so far this MLS season. They have been a team that you can easily get 3 points against. To be completely honest with you, they're not as strong as they were last year. And RSL, we drop points. Yes, the weather delay, they've been really good. So that's fine. But Inter Miami at San Jose, these last two games were literally MLS opening the silver platter, being like, here, we want you guys to have good form before the CCL final, even though this was already made prior to it. But still, like, here, you can get at least 2 points out of this game. One draw in each game, or 4 points. Take 4 points, please, from me. We took nothing. We took 0 points. And the worst part was we were winning in this game, and we were actually just waxing San Jose, and we just let them have it for free. Oh my God.
Yeah, I really, it's not often in life. You can ask friends and family members. It's not often that I'm speechless, but I think I'm at that point right now. I really, really don't don't have much more to say. Yeah, it is very interesting though when you see how the Sounders have been playing in regular season versus Champions League, and Coach Metzer and these players, they can talk about how they don't believe in the philosophy or that mindset that you can do well in multiple competitions simultaneously. The results say otherwise. That's all I can say to that.
No, and I totally agree. I mean, yeah, they've mentioned it. Brian Schmetzer's mentioned it in many press conferences. But if you have these performances, Sounders haven't kept a clean sheet, I believe, this season either. They've been defensively not great. And I think the biggest thing was fans wanted to see the Sounders play 4 in the back, because we would play better that way. I mean, at least when we're playing 5 in the back, we weren't conceding as often. We haven't kept a clean sheet in MLS this season. And I mean, to concede four goals to the San Jose Earthquakes is bad. It is really, really bad. There's a lot of talking points, because I've already mentioned the ref. Stefan Frei is another one, because definitely that goal he let in should never have gone in. And I guess those are the 2 big talking points on how this game was sold. But for you, Atif, I mean, what do you think what went wrong for the Sounders in this game? I mean, the ref is someone that was pointed at. Stefan Frei was someone that's pointed at. But for you, what do you think was it?
For me, what was it? I wouldn't say it was the ref because again, if you can find a way to have a 2-goal lead at 2 different points in the game, I don't want to hear anything about a ref personally. You know, if you're as good of a team as the Sounders are, you should be able to finish the deal. Um, I really don't know what to point it to. I think I'm still in shock, to be perfectly honest with you guys. I think it's still settling in that we just, blew this kind of a lead. I did find it interesting how I believe we pulled Ariaga out for Yamar at about the 62nd minute, somewhere there. And a few minutes later, that's when San Jose, starts their comeback, you know. I don't know if there's any, I'm not saying causation or correlation even. I was just looking at my notes and I thought that was a little interesting. Javier Arriaga, by the way, the only Sounder to start every single regular season game this year. So I don't know, maybe if Schmetzer didn't make that certain change, that certain sub at that point in the game, would that have led to anything different? I don't know if it was that. You can make the argument that if Stefan Fry didn't mishandle that ball, would be a different story. I really, really can't even think of a singular. I just feel like I feel like I'm very numb right now. I really, really am.
Yeah, I mean it's tough to analyze a game, especially when it's the team you support and it's right after the game. So I mean, you guys let us know in the comments down below what was your guys' thoughts on today's game. I mean, me and Atif gave it. I don't want to go too outspoken because I don't want to say something that I'm going to be like, okay, yeah, maybe it was a little bit harsh to say, but today's performance, I think all in all, I think every fan can agree was poor. And these two past games from the Sounders have been poor. And they got to hope that they win the CCL, because if Sounders don't win the CCL, they are going to have a lot of questions to ask, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you make it to the final. The only thing people care about is the team that wins it, not who lost in the final and what the team did to get to the final, is who wins the competition. So Sounders got to hope to put out in a crazy good performance in Mexico against Pumas in leg one, because these last two performances, if they go in with that kind of mentality, mindset, tactics, they are going to be losing probably 3-0 in Mexico and basically setting themselves up for failure come May 4th at Lumen Field. But boys and girls, let us know what you guys' thoughts were on today's game. Make sure to smash the like button. It'll make us feel a little bit better. So if you click the like, might save a couple of gray hairs from me and Atif here today. And then subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And I hope you all have a lovely day.